When people think of Perth, they think of the coast, the white sandy beaches, the surf at Scarborough, or the turquoise waters of Rottnest Island. But weekends here aren't just about the coast. There's a whole other side to the city that most people miss. And as a local, this is how I usually spend mine, beyond the beaches. I like starting my Saturdays with an outdoor walk, usually a park close to home or a local reserve nearby. It's the easiest way to ease into the morning. Fresh air, open space, birds, a bit of wildlife. And honestly, it doesn't matter where you are or where you live in Perth. North, south of the river, there's always a park nearby. And some days, I'll head to Kings Park instead, especially if I want that full skyline view. Or I'll walk along the foreshore by the river with friends, just watching the city wake up slowly. And after my morning walk, coffee is a must. Perth has a strong cafe culture. You'll see couples lingering, friends catching up, long breakfasts, stretching into late mornings. Some head to beachside cafes, but I like mixing it up. Some weekends I revisit old favorites. Other weekends I try somewhere new. Today I'm stopping by Chocolatine, a cafe tucked into a quiet street you'd probably miss if you didn't live here. So I'll have the crepe with Nutella and then crepe with the strawberry. It's small, relaxed, and they do good coffee here. I love discovering new cafes on the weekend, especially when I can. This cafe here, it's really a hidden gem. They really do good galette and crepes here. Delicious. Just reminds me of my mornings in Paris, sitting here, relaxing. J'imagine que je suis à Paris. Délicieux. And the best part? You'll find places like this all over the city if you explore a little. From quiet cafe mornings, my weekends often shift into something a little more lively. So I'll usually head out to a local market. Sometimes it's Fremantle, where I can wander for a few hours. There's always something happening. Street performers, small shops, and plenty to explore. I always end up grabbing something to eat along the way. A fresh guzleme is usually hard to resist, but you will also find anything from honey-soaked baklava to authentic Filipino treats. But you don't actually have to go all the way to Fremantle. Closer to the city, Subiaco has its Saturday farmers market. And if you're in the northern suburbs, Malaga is another good option. Each area feels slightly different, but they all carry that same local weekend energy. Thank you so much. I really like coming to markets. It's a kind of weekend energy I love about Perth. Perth is definitely a driving city, and most places are spread out. But some of the best things to do here don't cost much at all. One of my favorite things to do is head toward the river. Elizabeth Quay, South Perth, anywhere along the foreshore. There are always quiet spots to sit and just take it in. New walkways and bridges are slowly making it easier to explore on foot. You can cross the river, wander between neighbourhoods. You'll see families picnicking, occasional jet skiers in the distance, the skyline stretching across the water. It's easy, it's relaxed, it's the kind of moment that makes you appreciate just how beautiful the city really is. By late afternoon or early evening, I usually end up somewhere with a view, or sometimes just a local pub if I'm catching up with friends.
Yes.
Perth has a strong pub and sports bar culture. You'll find locals watching the footy, following a match, meeting friends, tables with laughter, and loud conversations, or just winding down after the week. It is a big part of the Australian lifestyle. Some nights I'll move between a couple of spots, just seeing where the evening takes us. And somewhere along the way, I usually stop for a quick bite, just enough to keep the energy going. Other weekends, I prefer somewhere a little quieter, like 18 knots by the river. There are plenty of bars around Perth, but this kind of setting just feels right. Sitting here in the city, enjoying a drink, and watching everyone unwind, it really reminds me how lucky I am to live here. Sundays are slower for me. I usually start with church, a familiar routine and a moment to reset before the week begins again. And after that, the day naturally drifts into the city. The CBD has its own weekend rhythm. Cafes are fuller, street performers pop up along Murray Street Mall, and there's more vibrant energy compared to the weekday rush. I love wandering through the shops, picking up something small, or simply window shopping. It's a good day to move around. And food becomes the meeting point. Sometimes it's sushi, and other times it's yum cha in Chinatown Northbridge. Simple and perfect for a Sunday. I always love coming here with family and friends, sharing small plates, catching up over tea. It's one of those weekend rituals that never gets old. By late afternoon, I usually want a change of scenery. One direction, you're in the hills. Another, you're in the Swan Valley. Within an hour, the city fades into trees and open roads. That's one of the quiet luxuries of living in Perth. You don't have to travel far to feel like you've gone somewhere. Sometimes the slow drive, sometimes wine tasting or a drink of cider, and other times just fresh air and space. No big plans, just a gentle way to close the weekend. So that's how I spend my weekends in Perth. Simple, not rush, parks, long walks, cafes, markets, good food, good company, a bit of nature, and of course, cider. Cheers, everyone. Refreshing. Perth might be known for its beaches, but weekends here aren't only about the coast. If you follow this loosely, you'll start to see the city the way locals actually live it. And that, to me, is the best way to experience Perth. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting our channel. I hope to see you again in our next videos. In the meantime, wherever you are in the world, I hope you stay safe, smile and be happy. Maraming salamat po. Bye!